Here, this Perp back with another video, and finally the Penguin has wrapped up its season finale with episode 8. I just want to kind of give you my thoughts on the overall series. I reviewed the first episode when that dropped, and I was just wanting to lock in with this series instead of just doing episode by episode. I'm just going to give you my thoughts overall and what I thought about this series and what does that mean for the future of Matt Reeves' universe. Now, I'm going to jump around. I just want to talk about the major things, specifically stuff with Oz, getting to know more about Vic's character and Sophia. Those three characters are the most important of the series. Starting off with Vic, because he was definitely the most interesting character, one of the most interesting characters, I should say, being introduced as a new character, somebody that is just under Oz's wing, lost everybody, lost his whole entire family, and he made a decision earlier on in the season where he could have gone with his girlfriend to California, but he decided to stay and make a name for himself with the Penguin. And what I love about Vic's specific episode with episode 3 is we get to kind of see the flood from his perspective, and we get a lot of different perspectives throughout this series and different point of views that just makes the series and the universe they build up even more dope. So going from that to Sophia, her coming to her realization, coming into her power, her episode where she was got locked up into Arkham was fantastic. Just amazing range of just acting, which leads to her arc where she wants this kind of fresh start, and she's completely tired of the Falcone family, and she ends up killing the rest of her family off and donning the name Gigante. So now the Falcones do not exist, and just that whole build up, her trying to figure out who killed her brother, pressing Oz about the situation, getting her backstory on just how she was treated when she was younger, not really being accepted by the family because she's a woman, she's kind of looked down on. Nobody really takes her serious until she takes matters into her own hands. Man, just fantastic performance all the way through with Sophia's character. Now to talk about the man of the hour, the main character of this series, the Penguin. Man, Colin Farrell as Oz has been fantastic from episode 1 to 8 to the very final episode. Just seeing how he just does not give a fuck about nobody. How ice cold his personality is, how he's able to just use and manipulate people. And you see it first and foremost with his relationship with Vic, where it almost comes off as this like kind of father-son or master and apprentice type of relationship, which ends up leading into something so fascinating. And Oz's mom, the actress that plays Frances, did a crazy incredible job playing Oz's mother and her dealing with this whole dementia kind of thing that's going on with her. And once we get to like the penultimate episode where we finally end up finding out what happened to Oz's brothers, that it gets revealed that the Penguin killed his brothers, and Frances had to kind of deal with that realization that Oz is pretty much the devil, in her own words. And the whole Rex Calabrese storyline comes back into play, where it's pretty much told that that is his father. And seeing even the whole Rex Calabrese thing and how he pretty much planted the seeds in Frances to kind of put that, pass that down to Oz. And this whole time, she really has an interesting hatred towards Oz because of what happened to her sons, what happened to his brothers. So you have all this interesting family dynamic going on with all these different characters. It's damn near a family drama, which is really interesting. You know, you got Vic that lost everything, attaches himself to Oz, and is getting really close with Frances, really just feeling a part of a family. And Oz just dealing with things with his mom, and Sophia dealing with stuff with her father, and just the whole entire family, wiping out the whole entire family. It's just really dope performances. You see characters like Vic that start off innocent, but then just completely turns to the dark side and embraces being a criminal. You see Vic also catching his first body in this, which definitely kind of changes his character. Vic has definitely the most tragic storyline in this series by far. Aside from like the Penguin and Sophia, everything she went through, but the stuff that Vic went through, man, I feel really bad, because while all this stuff is kind of going on within the series, you got Oz pretty much starting a whole gang war between, Sophia and the Maronis, which they end up making kind of alliance against Oz, and now Oz has to get the remaining gangs on his side, and he's also starting to look into like political power. So by the end of the series, this man becomes who he wanted to become all along from the beginning, from the very moment we get introduced to him in the Batman. But I really like the depiction of how we see the rise of his character, and we see the rise of Sophia's character, and also the kind of downfall and the flaws within Sophia's character, because there are multiple times where she felt like she got the best of Oz, but Oz always came out on top in every situation, even though he goes through a lot of traumatic things between him and his mom, realizing that his mom hated him. And I'm curious to see how that relationship kind of plays out throughout the different movies that we're going to see the Penguin in. But man, that ending, we got to talk about it. Him just comforting Victor when it's all said and done, and it seems like they're on top, and Victor's just like, yeah, we're here to stay. And, he's just getting really excited that, we finally did it. The Penguin says, nah, bro, this is where your destination stops. Kills Vic in the most brutal way. I would say not brutal, but it was definitely like a mercy killing by just choking him out. Sophia ending up back in Arkham. Just that whole setup with the Penguin and him pretty much flipping on Sophia, catching her off guard. Now she gets this letter from Selina Kyle, so that's going to be interesting if that's going to play a part in the Batman Part 2, because I definitely think that the beginning or the opening scene is probably going to be like an epilogue for the Penguin, and we're going to kind of see an interaction of this new Penguin that's on top, and he's going to interact with the Batman, which I also said that the best way to end this is if we see the bat signal, and they absolutely did that. And that just got me way more excited for Part 2, because there's just so many directions that this saga can go, and I'm just really excited to see who's going to be the next big bad. Overall, great performances, great series overall. I would give this a straight 10 out of 10, to be honest. And It lived up to my expectations. But let me know how you guys feel about this series in the comments below. What were some of your favorite episodes, favorite moments? How did you feel about Vic's death? Did it hit you? How do y'all feel about Sophia? How do y'all feel like the Penguin's gonna do when it comes around to being Emmy season? Do you think that it's gonna rack up a lot of Emmys? Let me know all your thoughts. What didn't you like? Till next time, I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.